Hey everyone, welcome back to Cuddy's bookshelf. So I have accumulated some books over the past month, so I will jump in. The first one I want to show you is Dostoevsky. I'm sorry if I butchered that name, but it is White Nights, and I've heard such good things about this. It's only a tiny story. It's one of the Little Black Penguin edition ones, and a lot of people say that this is Dostoevsky's favourite. So, and like, you don't know what true love is until you've read this book, and that had me sold. And on the back it says, 2 devastating Russian stories of solitude, unrequited love and depravity from beyond the grave. And yeah, sold. I got it. Then I have some mangas. I got the new Dan Da Dan. It's volume 7. This is a very weird series. The first book in the series, it's very hard to explain. So it is about a girl and a boy. One believes in UFOs, one believes in spirits, and they set out to prove each other's like theories wrong. And they come across some granny ghosts that want to eat his schlong and some very inappropriate aliens. It honestly, it is weirder when you read it. So yeah, I got the next volume in that, because once you read the first one, I just needed to know. I do have the next volume in my special one, which is volume 6. This is a series that I have wrapped the first 2 up on my cart, so I will get to the series at some point this year, and I'm hoping once I've read 1 and 2, I will get the bug and want to, you know, devour the rest. So yeah, I've got the newest one. Then we have Kaijo number 8, which is volume 10. This is about Kaijo, who has always wanted to be in the armed forces to fight the Kaijo, but he has a inner dilemma, because once he starts making waves into joining the armed forces, he starts having changes within himself, and he thinks, how can I fight the Kaijo when I am becoming one of them? So I've been enjoying this. It's action-packed. I love it. So there's that. I do have the new Ali Hazelwood. She is an auto-buy author for me. The last one was Bride, which was more of like a fantasy one for her, whereas I think this one is back to contemporary, and it is Not in Love. And with the test tubes at the bottom, I'm guessing it's more of a what she's normally into. Her books, the romances are normally based around like science and chemistry and stuff. So yeah, we have the new Ali Hazelwood. Then we also have the new The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden. So I have read The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret. This is the 3rd. I am so looking forward to this book because I loved 1 and 2, and I'm just really excited to get into it. So yeah, a new thriller. And then we have another thriller that I'm really excited about. If you've watched my channel at all, you know I've become obsessed with this thriller author, and it is MJ Ulridge's, and it is Julia Crouch also. So MJ Ulridge, Julia Crouch, The Wrong Child. Say no more. It's got MJ Ulridge's name on it. I will read anything that author brings out, and this is the newest one, so I can't wait for it. I don't want to read the backs, so sorry about that. With romances and thrillers, I tend to try and go in as blind as I can, so sorry if this is very, you know, quick fire, but I have a lot and I do need to crack on. So the next one is More Days at the Morizaki Bookshop. I am hoping to get to this one this month, because Days at the Morizaki Bookshop is on my TBR, so I'm hoping that I get a chance to read the second one also. And I've been really wanting to read some more translated fiction, and who doesn't want a book about books in a bookshop? Give me a cup of tea, one of these books, and I'm on my way. You know, bliss. Bliss. Then I have my first Toni Morrison book. I have heard a lot about Toni Morrison's books, and I really got intrigued. I didn't know if to buy Sula first or Beloved, and I went with Beloved. So I have this one. It is the mid-1800s, and as slavery looks like it's coming to an end, Seeth is haunted by the violent trauma it wrought out on her former enslaved life at Sweet Home, Kentucky. Her dead baby daughter, whose tombstone bears the single word beloved, returns as a spectre to punish her mother, but also to elicit her love. Told with heart-stopping clarity, melding horror and beauty, Beloved is Toni Morrison's enduring masterpiece. So yeah, I went with this one. I think it's going to be a really harrowing read, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. Then we have, so I've been looking for more books that are very much out of my comfort zone. Like, I want to feel uncomfortable whilst reading it. I did buy, where is he? Some Hubert Selber Jr.'s books, because I heard they was grotesque and uncomfortable to read, and I wanted more books like that, and I've seen this one everywhere. So I got Tender is the Flesh. I don't, it's a thrilling dystopia that everyone should read. I don't want to read too much into it, but I've heard that it's very disturbing, and you know, it will make me uncomfortable, and that's what I'm after. So yeah, I brought Tender is the Flesh. We have a new translated fiction, which is The Salmon Who Dared to Leap Higher, international multicultural bestseller. This is translated from Korean, and it says, the life of a salmon is a predictable one, swimming upstream to the place of its birth to spawn and then to die. This is the story of a salmon whose silver scales mark him out as different, who dares to leap beyond his fate. It is a story about growing up and about aching, adornant love, for swimming upstream means pursuing something the salmon cannot see, a dream. The Salmon Who Dared to Leap Higher is a wise, tender and inspiring modern fable about finding freedom and reliving a harmony with nature that we have either forgotten or lost in the binding of realities of life. And I just thought that sounded amazing, so I picked this one up. Then I will just group these in together. So I treated myself to some Terry Pratchett books. So I've been trying to get all of the Discworld books in these nice hardback editions. So I've bought Masquerade, which I will be reading this month. I am so excited about it. So Masquerade and Lord and Ladies. And then I also, because these are the last two in the Witches series in the Discworld, the series that I want to read next is the Death series, which the first one is Mort. So I got the first one in that, so I can still carry on and jump straight into the Death series, because I just love Terry Pratchett's books so much. So yeah, I got all of those. Then this book I brought, it is a children's book, but I brought it because it was mentioned in, don't judge me, but the series I've been watching is called Dash and Lily, and it is set around Christmas. It's like a Christmas series, and it's Dash and Lily's Book of Days in the book form. But I was watching that, and her auntie, so Lily's auntie, is named Mrs. Basil Lee. That's her like nickname for her auntie, and it is from this book, and this is from the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil Lee Frankenweather, and I really want to read it, because when they was on about it, I was like, I'm intrigued. So I bought it. I now have it, so I can read it. So when I'm watching the series again, because I've watched it multiple times, yeah, I'll be like, I know that too. On the topic of books that I wanted to read to make me feel uncomfortable, I brought Pen Pal. And this one says, in an attempt to make sense of his mysterious and unsettling childhood memories, a man begins to reconstruct his past. As the games and adventures of his youth become engulfed by a larger story, he finds that it forms a tapestry of unbelievable horror that he never could have expected. Each chapter completes a different piece of the puzzle for both you and the narrator, and by the end of it all, you wish that you could forget what he never knew. And I've heard some people really like this book, and I just really I was intrigued. The intrigue got me. Then I got another translated fiction. This is the Kamogawa Food Detectives. and it's just another book to add to my translated fiction. I really, really want to read more, and I want to read them from all over the world. So this is another one that I picked up. I'm especially drawn to like ones translated from Japanese or Korean. I don't know, it just draws me, and there's always a cat on the front. So the next one, I saw this being recommended from Jack Edwards, which is like Jack in the Books and Jack Edwards channel, he has two, and it is Paninka, and it is by Ronan Hessian. He rated this one of his favourite books of last year, I think it were, or a book that he would like to reread. There was a few times he has mentioned this book, and I was really intrigued. So on the back it says his name was Joseph, but for years they had called him Paninka, a name that was his sadness and his story. And I was just gravitated towards it. So yeah, I got that one too. So another translated fiction that I got is I Want to Die But I Still Want to Eat Terabaki, and this is such a beautiful, it's got like the chopsticks going down. It's such a beautiful edition of this. It's been out for a while, but I really wanted, I'm just basically building up my collection. The next one, I accidentally ordered two, so you will see it also here. I've put one already on my shelf, but if I'm really enjoying it, I can annotate one and keep the other. If it's a story that I'm just okay about, I will just keep one and I will donate the other. But it is The Bookshop Woman, and again, it's a translated fiction about books and a bookshop, and I'm really excited. This one says, hello, I'm the manager of a very unusual bookshop. I have the access to a huge database of over 10,000 books. Dream. I'll recommend one that's perfect for you. Sometimes when I am recommending books, I would inadvertently get a glimpse of something deep in a person's heart, a strong emotion or significant event, a trauma caused by a difficult incident in the past, a complex or a feeling of inferiority they'd been holding on to all this time, or a sense of loss that was deeply affected by their life. It just sounds so good. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one also. Next is a book that I am so excited for. It was the middle grade that made it to my top books of the year, and it is Greenwild. And this one is Greenwild, The City Beyond the Sea. I am so excited to jump back into this world. It is another beautiful edition. I absolutely loved the Greenwild, The World Beyond the Door. And I can't wait to go back in with the characters and carry on the adventures, because this was incredible, absolutely incredible. So yeah, I got number 2. The next one is a follow-on to a book that I read quite a few years ago now, which was called Threadneedle, and it is Shadow Stitch. These are by Kari Thomas. I loved Threadneedle, so I am so excited to get into this one, and it is a chunker. I didn't realise it was going to be this like chunky, which I'm really happy about, don't get me wrong, but I found Threadneedle so submersive and addictive, and it really brought out my emotions in me, so I'm really excited for this one too. And the praise for the world of Threadneedle is enthralling and original fantasy, and that was by J. Christoph. And then the other one is The Magic Both Gleams and Threatens. You'll want to give this a try, and it's Robin Hobb. So if you can't trust the words of those two, who can you trust? And me, because I've read Threadneedle and it was amazing, so I highly recommend it. But I can't wait to get into this one. Oh, it's so exciting. The next one is a continuation of a series. I read the newest one before this one was a Christmas one, so I read that within December, and now we have Why Mummy Drinks on Holiday. These are by Gil Sims, and they are hilarious. They are like slice of life, and I don't like slice of life books. I find them very, very boring. Like, give me some passion, give me some drama, give me something in my story. I can't just someone's day-to-day life, but this is different. This is on a different level. This is absolutely hilarious. I love these books so much, so I'm so excited that I have another one. This is going to be so, I can't wait for it. I really can't. And then it has the little underneath. So this is about a woman who, it tells you from the start of the series, she is struggling with problems with her husband, with her kids, and why she needs escape and time for herself. And the whole series has followed this family along, and they have like unusual families that they have to spend time with, and the animals and it's just so good. I highly recommend this series. Like I say, it's so humorous and it is not boring. To say it's a slice of life, it is not boring one bit, so I'm really looking forward to the new one. So the next one, I saw this book in Tesco's, so I picked it up, and it is The Switch. It is a thriller, and what I read at the time, what I can remember, because I don't want to reread it because I want to read it as soon as I can, it is about a couple that is house sitting in Wimbledon, and they have some neighbours that they get close to, and they play a game of swapping husbands for a while, and one of them starts getting like really strong feelings and starts this illicit affair, but the woman that was the neighbour has other plans, and it was like, who will survive or something, like what is this game? It just sounded thrilling, so I picked that one up. Last but not least, I got the new book by Jennifer Saint. So obviously this is a Greek mythology retelling, and this is Hera. I love Jennifer Saint's Greek mythology retellings. I have read a few of hers now and loved every single one of them. I highly, highly, highly recommend Jennifer Saint if you are looking for a really great mythology retelling, and I'm so excited to get into this one. I can't tell you. So excited. It is signed by Jennifer, which just makes me really excited. But yeah, that is all of the books that I have hauled over the past month. It's been a month, so these are very much a treat, and I am really blessed and lucky that I've been able to have these. I'm so excited to jump into them. Some of them I'm really hoping to get into this month. Some of them I am getting into this month. And let me know what books you've been buying recently. Any good ones, any that you have brought but have no intention of reading anytime soon. We all do it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me, please subscribe, and I hope to see you on my next video. Bye! I also brought another translitered, new word. We've got romancity and translitered, which is translated fiction. Translation. What's it called? What's the series called? Oh my god, why is it going out of my head? In an attempt to make sense of his own mysterious and unsettling childhood memories, a man begins to reconstruct his past. It just sounds so good. Oh, sorry about that. I am so hot. Look, that is gross. It's really warm today, but I am conscious of my arms and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so when I'm filming, I always try and wear things that cover them, but oh my goodness, I'm feeling it today. Right, let's go put some new books away. New books, new books, new books, new books, new books, new books.